Knees now. Is Dave on? What's up, man? What's up? Is love. Hey, what's up, Daywalk? Thanks for the like, man. Oh, I should have had my laptop. Yeah, well, I'll wait for a few people to get in here, then I'll get started. How's everything going with you, though? Your channel? A few things I want to talk about. A few things I feel like I need to discuss. Just took a trip to Maine, which was cool. Um, I'm still in the mind frame of being there, so I got a duck update, and yeah, I just wanted to talk. I wanted to get on here like before. I might go live later. I tried last night. I don't want to say it was unsuccessful. I was ready. I was doing my thing. I was prepared, and I'm gonna say I was amped up. But after 8 hour trip, I was you know it was a quiet trip. My kids didn't. I didn't have my phone plugged in, so I didn't have my music as much. And I'm so cheap that I still have this old Bluetooth that I don't have much battery life on, so it kind of goes out after like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Um, so I didn't have a lot of music. It was a lot of quiet time on the trip home. Hey guys, if you're just coming in, um, I'm gonna be much of a talking head. Uh, you can chime in if you want, some comments, some jokes, whatever you got. But the title of the stream is "What the World Needs Now." Um, Obviously, a very popular song. Very tragic events going on around the world today. It's probably the most shocking footage I think I've ever seen. Say meow. Okay, well you got me meowing out here. Um, what I saw in Nepal and Tibet was very shocking, and yeah, man. The other day I had some feelings about what's going on in Gary, Indiana, and it's just kind of similar. It's making me have to get past the nonsense and really start to get serious about some of the things that matter and being intentional about the things that may not matter as much. Do you feel better now? Um, I I feel good. My mind is like it's like prime rib right now. Like I The I took a trip. I was going for 5 days. I set up some very simple systems, hoping that my chickens would do the right thing and survive, and they did. My new hens and ducks, they also survived. So pat on the back to me for being able to set that up. Um, my do the chickens like petting? I have one red here that I could pick up. The rest of them I didn't raise. That's one of the first chickens I got some time ago, and I didn't raise the others like that. I became less of a pet, having chickens as a pet, and more of like a coordinated relationship. Lily Willis, what's up? So yeah, I mean they you get the chance to pick them up in very weird moments, like maybe it's a hen is broody. Shout out. I gave you a shout out. What you want? You want another shout out? My boy Lily Willis. Like what you want? Uh oh. Let me think about what I'm saying. Sometimes they catch me with that. But yeah, just to double down on, can I call that chicken which one? Red? Let me see if I don't know if she went inside. Once that sun go down, what you got? You knew why you needed a shout out so bad? Oh, the one that likes petting. Well, I don't know if she likes it, but she's definitely. You know you the star of the show. You know you the star of the show. Yeah, this is I just call it Big Red. It's just a tease of one of my favorite movie characters. But yeah, that's what you get, Plasma. I wouldn't say I pet her. I pick her up every now and then. In my purview, I hope that she respects all of the love uh, and the treats that I've given her, and she she gives it back to me with by training the others or keeping everybody in order. She will kick a chicken. She will. I seen I don't know if you know, chickens be stomping other chickens out like straight up, like leg like they go for it. Um, but yeah, I'm doing okay. Um, been thinking about boats a lot. Uh, Not really rethinking my life or my decisions, but I got exposed to something this past weekend um, that I never thought about, and I'm sure a lot of people that I know have also never thought about. And I was just doing some research, and it just started to reveal something like deeper and deeper and deeper. Um, so hopefully that information helps me. It helps me and any communities that I'm a part of, associated with. Um, I got to get on the water. That was pretty cool. It felt, on one hand, it felt like there's no way that if something went wrong, that I'm gonna survive or the people that I'm with is gonna survive. Like I definitely had a healthy. I already respect water, but I think I've gained even more respect for water. Um, since I do want to start going on water more, it was a interesting experience. I was in a harbor and we took like a trip to an island that I think, if I remember correctly, I think only 70 people live on the island, and they had five. It's funny, the narrator said, "You'll probably forget every word of what I'm saying." And I was like, "I'm probably not." They have five students in the whole school district that were between grades K to 8. And the kids, all of the kids, are boated. They take a boat to school, and the schools switch between every 2 years. They switch between one island and another island. All my wife could think about was like, how do they take the boat when the waters are like just about frozen? Um, I don't know, but it definitely gave you a perspective of something I've never thought about, never had to think about, never thought I'd think about. So that was really a good experience for me. I needed to get out my own way. Yeah, I just needed to be kind of free, and just see different things, turn everything off, and that provide definitely provided that experience. I did want to share it. I did want to, I did feel like I wanted to have conversation around it, and that wasn't necessarily available. I was taking pictures and I was sharing pictures, but I don't know. I felt I felt like my eyeballs were and my body was experiencing something that I wish I could deliver to other people. But I did enjoy myself. I got to go on top of the highest point in the eastern seaboard, whatever that means. Uh, I was like, on the East Coast? It's like, no, on the eastern seaboard. Okay. Um, yeah, it was a lot of learning, a lot of the the things, the way I hear my children learning, the like, are you smarter than a fifth grader conversations. There was a lot of information being passed that was simple, but I just, when you don't know enough and you're very ignorant to things, um, not in a bad way, just being naive. I don't know what this duck is doing, but you could tell the chickens just be like, yeah, they know not to mess with the duck. Let me just go see what the duck wants. Me and the duck ain't really on the same page at all. Um, it's new for me. I almost am almost certain that I do not want ducks. I haven't, but I'm pretty certain that that's not my deal. I was watching a stream earlier, one of my favorite live streamers. All right, let me go see, because I don't know. This duck is really looking at something. That was either a false alarm or I don't know enough foul language. I don't know foul language. No, I don't. I do not. My chickens, I understand. I understand when they grab attention to something and it's pretty obvious as to what's going on. Um, the ducks, not so much. They don't put themselves away. They stink. They're nasty. They. I kind of got a bad deal because I was just trying to help out a friend more on the rescue tip. Um, Probably made a big mistake because this breed does not lay that much. I don't even think I was really looking forward to duck eggs. And it's easy for me to have like a hen that's not going to be productive in the laying because I could just not feed the hen as much and then, it'll go eat what it eats. Um, the ducks require water, they require a little bit of figuring out, and I just haven't had the time yet. It's only been 2.5 weeks. And then I also feel um, the person that I got it from, a friend, I know the person, is a friend of my sister's. Um, they treated these animals like extended family members. Well, I don't. And at least in the first month, I feel like I got a text today. So I feel like there is added pressure and stress that, somebody has a lot of care for what's going on in this situation. It's just interesting that the duck wants to go to the wrong run right now. My hens are afraid to even. They might have to jump that duck, to be honest. But Big Red, go do you, man. Don't come over here. I'm calling you. Alright, I might have to intervene, y'all. Well, like I was saying, um, the stream title is "What the World Needs Now." It's one of my favorite songs to listen to, and obviously I don't arrive at the song when I'm in like my happiest mood of all time, but when I do feel that, I just kind of wish things could align themselves better. Um, and seeing the devastation of what's going on in Gary, Indiana, what's going on in Nepal and Tibet, um, it just makes me, it makes you realize how fast things could turn on a dime. And what's up, Daniel? And the fact that, and I was going to say this about what's going on in Gary a little while ago, but, and I'm careful not that I'm a big streamer, not that a lot of people are going to see the message, but it still means a lot to me that people aren't like negatively affected by something that I may say. What I'm trying to, it's sort of like the timing thing. Like somebody passes away and then a comedian comes out and says something. It's like, is it too early? Well, regarding the Gary situation, um, I really am sad to see people um, being left behind. I'll just say that first. Um, I think that's a fact. I don't think that's debatable. I haven't even heard anyone debate that. Um, this has Katrina Flint feelings towards it. Um, but beyond that, I think it's even sadder that we're so confused as a people. I'm not talking about a racial group. Just as like, let's just say Americans, right? We're not really on, by and large, the masses of us are not on the list that are going to be saved. So if you truly want to help yourself, it has to be through information. It has to be through trial and error. it can't be the day that everything goes haywire and then you say, oh, we got to do something about it. To see all of those people lined up and food and water, which is very um, obviously it's a key. It's simple. I shouldn't say it's simple. It's simple in terms of it's not a vast requirement. Um, to and this is not to be negative because about the people who are pitching in and helping out, but I just dream of a society where that is the backup plan, right? Like that's not your primary plan. Your primary plan can't be that things go haywire and you still have your health, so to speak, and the only way for you to survive, in days, within days, is to for someone to bring you something, you to go somewhere to line up where there's probably limited resources. There's, people are putting themselves in danger just to get those resources to you. I just don't understand, and a lot of people frown upon me with my ideas of how do we grow and live as a community better and share things and have better communication. I struggle with my family. I struggle with my friends. I'm always wanting to say something and not saying it, or limiting what I'm willing to express because of my target audience, right? But I've also heard in the same vein, the same people that I would limit that communication with, I've also heard them say when things hit the fan, they're going to show up at my door. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. I'm going to do a whole radio broadcast. Do not show up at my door. No, I mean, we have to be there for each other as a people. It's more of a matter of when. When do we do this work? You know, it's like here in America, we send kids to college, and kids don't, and I'm intentionally saying kids don't take their future and career serious enough, and I'm talking to masses, until it's right in front of them, until all their youth is gone and there's, less help and resources, and then, now you got to figure it out. And that's why you know energy and water, with just energy, we're going to choose the path of least resistance, right? How can I get in this door? Because we have not spent enough time working through what does the sacrifice look like to get to a place that might be better or comfortable for us. So when do you do that work, right? And just been thinking about that a lot. And I'll give an example from my trip. And if that resonates with anybody, please, drop something in the chat. It definitely will help me to know that I'm having a two-way street conversation, because I don't intend to just project, say, listen to everything I say. Um, so I was having this conversation, and again, the point that I'm making is like community and timing, right? And obviously, when catastrophic events occur, timing doesn't matter anymore, right? If something happens to my neighbor down the road, it's time to jump in. So timing doesn't matter at that point. But while we're sitting here, obviously, anyone who's watching and myself, I have a moment to just think about what could community like look like. So I was driving back from Maine, and like I said, it was a 8 hour drive, and I kind of discovered something that I didn't I didn't know how to articulate it at first, and so I just started doing research before I left. Like I woke up in the morning saying, I'm gonna do this research because this research is something's here. I'm trying to articulate something. Let me figure out what this is, right? Man, these freaking ducks won't put themselves away. There's a duck. Let me see. This white thing right here is a duck, and it's just laying there waiting. It too much work. Um, so I've grown up wearing certain clothing brands, right? I remember, and this definitely will age a person, but I remember like so, Tommy Hilfiger, Nautica, uh, Chaps, right? So I'm not from. I definitely didn't have a silver spoon. So, however, the strategy for me would be to get the best item that I could get for the lowest price, right? And that may cross the line of authenticity, whether or not something is deemed to be fake or real or detectable. And so that's always been a thing, way before jewelry and people trying to test to see if your diamonds are real. I mean, your Lacoste shirts, were they real? Um, Polo shirts, were they real? Like, there's a lot of fake stuff out there. The the black market's been around for a very long time, and it will always be around. So I want to spend the least money for the best thing. And this is me being young and in an environment that this is what I got from. This is what I grasp that makes sense for this environment. So I've always, not always, but there has always been an understanding that there's more to the clothing that, let's say, we popularize, right? Like Timberlands, right? So I'm a New Yorker, so I definitely have some Tims. New Yorkers are known for wearing Tims, but Tims is not something that we would have made because Tims they correlate to an industry. Uh, Chaps and Nautica, they correlate to an industry, right? So this whole time, just about my whole life, I've been wearing a brand that maybe the colors stood out, whether it be Columbia or North Face. Um, as a city folk, I'm wearing this item of clothing with no connection to what the underlying meaning of why that brand, why that clothing exists, why was the inseam cut here, why was that the material that was used. So sure, it's winter time, and yes, I'm in a ski jacket, but I have no idea. No, I have never been skiing. So I don't know if I ever will go skiing. Uh, hey, Rita. So here I am, and I'm just thinking through. I'm on this ride back home from my trip to Maine, and I'm realizing that, okay, so I'm like, I took one brand and I said Nautica, and I was exposed to yachts this weekend. I didn't go on the yacht, but when you go to the harbor, everything is just in your face, and it's hard not to look at the magnitude And the difference of, and mind you, in a harbor, you're going to have an immaculate yacht that you know is, anybody could tell you the price of the yacht. You wouldn't be able to validate that. And you see small boats and every size boat in between. The small boats more like rent two boats. You see all of that, right? So I got exposed to like just the concept of yacht clubs and sailing clubs. And I want a boat, and I don't really know like how to approach this. I have no understand. I've never had a trailer. I've never had a hitch on a vehicle. And I started to think about, okay, well, who has yacht clubs and sailing clubs? And what is really the purpose of a yacht club? For what, I just got curious. I'm a very curious person. They used to call me Curious George, by the way. I'm a very curious person. And I say to myself, well, what's the purpose? These people are rich. They're rich, hand over fist. Why would they have a yacht club? Right? If I could afford a yacht, what's the need? Just like you buy a house and every tool that you need, you and every other person around you each buys that tool. No community. So, yacht club. So I do some more research and it hits me right there. Bam. Because anyone would scare you away right away and say, oh yeah, why would you can't afford to be in a yacht club. Or when I speak about buying a boat, someone who doesn't know any better automatically tells me, and I've heard this from every person, predominantly males, um, who have either never boated, never been around boats. Oh yeah, that's expensive. So why would you join a yacht club? So you join a yacht club because it gives you access to things that you wouldn't normally have access to by yourself. Fundamental concept. I join a yacht club because maybe I want to be on the water a certain amount of times a year, and I could have a discounted rate, and so could my family, on getting on the water. But this has to be like super expensive, right? It has to be like unreachable for all of us because it has the word yacht in it. So I look up my local yacht club. It's not that expensive. And yes, there's, I wouldn't say a catch, but it's not just a money thing, right? There's a maintenance that you have to, there's hours that you have to kind of donate. And that could vary based on your yacht club. Now, granted, great, I'm excited. I don't feel like there is a barrier as of yet for me to be able to get into a yacht club. And I feel confident now that I would be able to go there, talk to somebody, get information, start learning about what this is. If I want to go the sailing route, kind of figure out what that is, right? And then I thought about something. Again, why would I still really haven't answered what is the need for the yacht club? And then it said, bam, it just hit me. And I said, hold on. When I was in Maine, everything I heard about was, it wasn't anything that was modern. Everything was like, this goes back to 1880, and this person, this is before America, and the French got here first, and that's why all these names are French, which I didn't learn in school. And Champlain came here first, and Verrazano, the same guy, Giovanni Verrazano, came here, and this is how this mountain got named. And so I'm thinking of all this history, and I realize this cannot be a for profit entity. Lo and behold, are most yacht clubs nonprofits? Yes. That is not what I think of when I think of a nonprofit. I don't think of a yacht club. And I thought about it, I said, well, why? The reason why I thought maybe they weren't a nonprofit is because all of this money and all of this effort that it takes to give, there's an investment. And the investment doesn't just dissipate into thin air. So I thought to myself, aha, it's a wealth play. It's a way to not have to commit everything, but still get the benefits of something. And you use your community of people who are all, we are all doing the same thing. So you have yacht clubs who own harbors and or have rights to harbors, and you know, boat launches and boat houses. So the nonprofit is able to, you know, profit via the assets. And it made me realize that, again, going back to somebody who grew up wearing uh, pretty much a yacht club. I would wear it. I love things with like sails on it. I love the socks, and this thing is something that I feel like I'm just not, or have not even been told that I could participate in. So there's just like a disconnect. Um, so I just been thinking about wealth and how, not wealth in a just a monetary sense of it, but how historically how we manage money and how money has moved. I went to Acadia National Park, and you know, of course, every place you go, whether it's a museum, a national park, they're gonna give you that history and show how why they're so important. And one of the things was that it was somewhere like 10,000 acres that was donated to the federal government. And this is from the Rockefellers, this is from JP Morgan. And, you know, they continue to tell these stories, and these people are like, I don't want to say the God thing, but definitely they make these names and the wealth of these people feel larger than life. And I had asked my wife, I was just like, I feel like it's unfathomable um, to now society, because clearly the decisions of these people uh, was the difference between uh, happiness and lack thereof. And we're kind of getting close to that again when it comes to wealth and decisions that are being made. But I don't know. It just felt like it's a big world out there, and the number one thing that we need. And thanks for everybody who joined. I didn't really have a time or duration. I really have a full topic. I just wanted to talk a little bit about just feeling bad and sad for what the devastation that occurred today in Nepal and Tibet, and connecting that to like an example of us just needing to be better and do better as a community, and not at the last minute, right? Connecting that to like Gary, or even like technology, how technology could help us, which it does, right? I mean, they're always measuring different volcanoes, and there's definitely information that gets passed to people, but we obviously could do a better job, and maybe that could contribute to us not feeling like left behind. And I could only imagine like this thing in Tibet and Nepal. It's like it's on the news one day, and you give it another day, and it won't be there. You know, and once they find the numbers, like everything is, it's kind of like rage bait. Let's get a number of the amount died or the amount missing, and then we'll find a way to move on to the next story. I'm not obviously the first to say that, but I was able to just take a break and take a pause, and it definitely helped me to have this conversation. I don't think anyone is still here. I think it was a cool conversation. I'm gonna just finish up and put these birds away. Um, but thanks for joining. Um, hey, it was a good talk. Peace.